What is it that we're missing that I don't even know to ask you that you think is important for, the average listener to know? Again, people that are sitting here panicking because they haven't gotten their, taxes in yet. That's literally what they're doing this coming weekend, figuring all this stuff out. What are some pieces of advice you would give or things that say, "Oh, hey, by the way, have you thought about this? Make sure you ask your accountant to add this or take this
Yeah.
out," however it works.
Yeah. Listen, I think one, like we talked about the grants, I think most people, small business owners, individuals, don't look at these opportunities for all these amazing sea of grants out there that
Hmm.
they can take advantage of. Number two, and we talked about this a little bit, just go to the web and say, I haven't filed my tax returns. I got to get them done in a week. What am I missing? This is what I do. What am I missing? Go into ChatGPT, do that too. Like, what am I missing? Because it's amazing what you can find out on the internet. And then, continue to listen to podcasts and educate yourself. Again, it's not sexy. I don't know how to make this topic sexy and make it fun, but in reality, I see the billionaires and the multimillionaires that I know, peer friends of mine, they started from scratch too.
Hmm.
And they preserved their wealth and capital by just being smart about tax planning. And it's just those, if we say 50 cents of every dollar, like when you're in business, the government's your partner. And that partnership costs you 50 cents on the dollar
Hmm.
unless you continue to do tax planning and bring that to your advantage and take advantage of the rules, right? And if you're saving 20 cents on the dollar, well, that really builds up. And that allows you to continue to invest in your company and grow your wealth. And ultimately, that's the difference I see between people that have a small business and people that have a large business that started here, right? It's that investment in tax planning that made a big difference.
Right. Leading up to this past January, we had all these political conversations, and taxes were a big part of that. Now that Trump is in office, what should people expect to see in their taxes? What is new about having him in office?
Yeah, and listen, I'm working on that tax policy with the administration and with Congress.
Mhm.
And I think one thing we'll see is the Trump tax cuts that we did in 2017 will be restored 100%. So what's that 100% bonus depreciation? So when you're buying equipment or investing in things for your company or real estate, you'll get those accelerated write-offs. So I think that's most important. We're going to have R&D tax credits and other small business tax credits restored because a lot of that phased out.
Mhm.
He has promised no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and I think that's definitely going to be in that bill. And he wants to lower tax rates. And so, if he can bring that down a few points, that's a lot to get
How
done.
hard is that really to do, though?
Well, you would think it's like the Republicans have the House, they have the Senate, and the president's Republicans. So everything's in a line to get it done. It would seem that it would be easy. But even when you have all that in your favor, you're still going to have certain Republicans that are going to say, I'm not sure. And they don't have a big majority, right? They can only lose a couple of votes. So what would seem so simple to get done is never too simple when in reality. But, I would think if they want to, you know, have a good midterm election coming in 18 months, then they'll get this done and keep promises made, promises delivered. I think they have to get that done.
Yeah. You brought up the internet earlier. I wanted to ask, is starting an LLC actually worth it for tax savings, or is it just a TikTok like finance bro thing?
No, I think the LLC is vital because, you know, one thing is it offers so much protection, right? If you're an individual and you do something bad in business, right, they can come after you. If you have the LLC, you have that shield. So that's vital. And obviously, when you have an LLC, we have different tax rates, right, than associate with an individual, so that you can lower your taxes. Like the small business owners under an LLC can reduce their taxes by 20% at the end of the year. And this is called a 199 deduction. It's not very sexy, but most people miss it, right? And it's just basically add up your income, add up your expenses. Okay, what's your bottom line? That's what you owe. Now reduce it by 20% because we want small business owners to have a lower tax rate. And that's the only way to do it. Now, if you're an individual, you're not going to get that reduction by 20%. So I would do both.
Right. Um, what's one tax hack that's totally misunderstood but actually works that we haven't talked about?
Listen, you can have tax deductions for pets, right? But they
Mm.
have to be, you know, again, go Google it. How do I get to write off my pet? Is it a security dog? Is it helping in my business? Is it an influencer? That's one.
Wow, a dog
That's one
influencer can
that
be
people
written
miss, right?
off.
Yeah.
Wow. What about if you get, my dog just had double ACL surgery? Is that a write-off?
It's, hey, listen, it's a write-off if he's, kind of an employee of your company.
Right. Okay, good point. If it's a canine for weapons detection, then maybe
There you
it
go.
is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so to wrap this up, what I guess because we're a misunderstood show, right? What would you just say? Or listen, guys, here's the most misunderstood thing about taxes, and I don't want you to fear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
love that
think
you
that,
said. I love that you said that the IRS is not the enemy. It's just how to figure out how to work with them and know what you're getting into, right? So, what else I think that's misunderstood. I think people are scared of the IRS.
yeah, I think, look, the tax code is 4 million pages going on 4,400,000 pages of tax code. And there's so many opportunities within that code. The tax code is not written to police you. The tax code is written to tell you all the ways you can reduce your taxes, right? 99% of the tax code is not about enforcement. It's about, hey, here's all these ways to lower your taxes. I think that's the misunderstood issue with the tax code. But how does someone take advantage of all 4,200,000 pages? I would go into ChatGPT or the internet and say, look, here's some things I'm thinking about for tax write-offs. What you tell me, can I take this? And let that go through the 4,200,000 pages and find all the tax benefits for you.
Right. Okay, Julio, this has been so eye-opening. I love it. If people want to reach out to you, so I know you said at the beginning you work with mostly accountants, CPAs. If an individual wants to hire your firm, can they do that?
Oh, yeah. Listen, we're happy. And first of all, we would find out what their business is, run a grant report for them, and see what they qualify for. Those are free. And we'll also look at missed tax credits, missed tax incentives, and give you that report so you can bring that back to your accountant and have a conversation with him to see how they can do better for you. So,
And do you also list accountants that are approved by you, that work with you, that people can kind of look at that list and hire them?
Yeah, absolutely. So happy to share that. And we're just here to help. And I'm tax reform expert on Instagram. So, I'm on all the social media, and I do daily tax tips. So, just, if you're going to bed and trying to fall asleep, maybe you just say, let me just look at a tax tip for the evening. Maybe it's about the pets. Maybe it's about how do I write off jewelry? How do I write off shoes? How do I write off that new handbag? We'll have tips there for you.
Amazing. Tell our listeners where they can find you. Is there a website? I assume there's a website.
Yeah, Engineered Tax Services. So look us up. Hopefully, just spend, again, a lot of people spend a lot of time working out, maybe a couple hours a day. Just spend a few minutes a month just thinking about what can I do? What grants can I find? What tax incentives can I find to help me grow my wealth?